Hello again, everyone.
Love DNVC. Here is our second part of our beautiful trip to Prague.
So this second part begins where we left off in the last part. We're in Petrin Park, overlooking actually both sides of Prague. And here, this next photo is of a coffee shop in Petrin Park. We decided not to go because it's quite expensive. You're paying for the view, I think.
It's an amazing view.
In this picture, you can actually get a sense of how elevated Petrin Park is. The hill there is part of Petrin Park.
And there's the castle.
This is a monument to a Czech writer. I don't know anything about him, but I thought it was a beautiful monument in the park.
And this is walking towards the castle grounds.
We thought they were interesting flowers positioned there. So all of these pictures here are part of the castle complex, which is in fact the largest castle complex in the world.
It's enormous.
And we don't actually have, we took 2 trips up to the castle. This time we just sort of walked around the perimeter, and then the next morning we actually went in. So these pictures here are all just from the outside.
But that's all of the church and the castle grounds.
And this is the view from the edge of the castle complex looking back on Prague.
It's one of my favorite views.
Here's the German embassy. They're not real soldiers, just statues, but I thought it was interesting.
Another set of long staircases.
So here we're in Lesser Town, which I didn't spend a lot of time in my first time there, and Brittany and I decided that we actually like Lesser Town better than Old Town.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
So the next time we go back, we decided we're going to get a hotel in Lesser Town instead of Old Town.
It was more quaint.
And I took these pictures because we both love European buildings. They're so bright, all painted
Vibrant,
in
yeah.
vivid colors.
Here's the restaurant we decided to eat at the second night we were there.
And there's actually a funny story because this next picture that you're going to see of our plates, while we were eating, Brittany actually had a bug fall from the ceiling, and wouldn't you know, rather than ending up in my plate, it landed in hers. And well, I don't know how many of you know what happens when Brittany sees a bug, but she tends to freak out. And luckily our waiter was a good guy and brought her a new plate.
There's the sidewalk. I just want to say that as the doors were amazing, but the sidewalks were amazing too.
And here, this is the National Theater. Incredibly beautiful, gilded building. Another church in Prague. I don't really know anything about this church. We just stepped inside to check it out and had beautiful paintings on the ceiling. And perhaps the nicest or most impressive organ that we saw in Prague.
Yeah, it was insane.
And I thought that this monument here was particularly moving. Another view of the National Theater. One of the channels of the river looking onto one of the most busy of the boulevards. And here you're getting a view of the linden trees, which are so popular in Central and Eastern Europe. Very beautiful this time of year with the blossoms.
Here's the car of my dreams.
The original old Mini Cooper.
Another church. The churches were beautiful.
This was kind of an interesting place. It was we don't really know for sure, a garden that you could tour, but I enjoyed the statue on top. One of the flowers from the garden.
And here's the infamous Bohemian glass. That was quite expensive.
So here now we're entering the castle complex. These are the statues at the entrance to the castle. From what I know, the castle complex dates back, I think, to 800 or early 900. And you can see there's a restaurant that's been in the castle complex since at least 1360. just a courtyard inside of the castle complex. One of the tulip trees that we saw there reminded us of Knoxville, actually. One of the main entrances to the castle. I think Brittany was dreaming about maybe that she would become royalty or something. Probably because she spent so much time watching the royal wedding.
Oh, stop.
Here is the main Gothic cathedral inside of the castle
It
grounds.
was, yeah, breathtaking. You can't even begin to describe.
In particular, the gargoyles on this church are quite interesting. I think there's a picture somewhere here of the gargoyles.
Yeah,
there it is.
The detail work was just insane.
And this is a relief above one of the main doors on the church. And now we're moving inside, a picture of the stained glass windows and the mosaic, which it's cool how that works. The light coming through the stained glass window illuminates the mosaic on the wall.
So this is typical Gothic style. Not gaudy and cluttered like the other churches.
And here we're not sure if these people looked so young, but I think
sure
they
they-
got married,
yeah.
yeah. So this is I think the main courtyard inside of the complex.
So the character to the right, later on, we saw digging money out of the fountain. It was interesting.
And
to say
hiding
the
from the
least.
Czech police.
It was crazy.
And here we're looking up the bell tower. I read that the bell, which dates back to the early 1500s, weighs 15 tons, and I was shocked to learn that it's hanging from the belfry with a strap of leather. I didn't know that leather would hold 15 tons.
More of the church.
The flying buttresses, which makes Gothic style churches so impressive from the outside. And there's actually a number of churches inside of the castle grounds.
Yeah.
So here we're looking at more Romanesque style churches that are actually older than the Gothic cathedral.
And this is all like we're still in the palace grounds.
Quite proud of this photo. I'm looking
Yeah.
through the old medieval wall, so the view that archers would have had back in medieval times.
I love the view from the palace, like with the Spanish tile roofs, and yeah, it was beautiful.
And here we're actually in the midst of a vineyard.
Just took some time to relax. It was good to just sit there and take it all in.
And here we're also in Lessertown, and this is a monastery or a convent, I'm not sure which one, but it was incredibly quiet there, and you never would have known that you were in the middle of a city of a couple million people.
And here's another church.
So this church is actually part of the convent.
Yeah, we were bummed. We got there like 5 minutes after it closed, so we couldn't go in. And then another, yeah, tons of statues everywhere.
And this is a Czech restaurant that we ate at that night. And the view outside of the window on the what looks not as steep here, but quite steep
Yeah.
street. I had roasted duck and dumplings, and Brittany had salmon and mixed vegetables. So here's the view of the Gothic church.
This
And
is down in the market.
yeah, this is Old Town Square at night. It's incredibly beautiful at night.
Yeah.
In particular, it's really neat how they light up the spires on that church, and some of them they illuminate in kind of an orange color, almost like there's lights on or something.
Yeah, it was really picturesque.
So we're coming to a close on our video here. The last building we're looking at is the Czech National Bank with another statue on top. So we hope you like our film. It was my first attempt at trying to create a quasi film / documentary. So as they say in Latvian, ata.
Visu labi.